This past week, I started having the most mind-blowing thought. It's blowing my mind anyway. All of a sudden, the entire course of my awakening, starting in 2009, especially the portion extending through 2013 into part of 2014, started coming into one cohesive, clear communication to me. I started like frames on a film strip, seeing my out-of-body experiences, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, showing me the exact same thing, showing me that my higher fractal consciousness was sending me a communique, a single communique, informing me what was happening in my body, informing me so that our chances for keeping these boots on the ground during the collective shift was more likely. OBE after OBE after OBE, showing me I had been found, infiltrated by, quote, the dark side, by what our body and what we would see or conceive of as parasites, opportunistic individuals. Some of you know I'm doing these cleanses and putting through the videos on the healthcare stuff. And all of this is related. I finally started putting two and two together. This is mind-blowing to think that from 2019 through 2013, I was talking to myself from a higher level to ground level, and I didn't get it. I did not cognize the message, the communique, the entirety of everything. For my higher fractal consciousness, seeing a need to take me out of the body and bring me into the additional fields where I'm positive I was being told, but only bringing back into the physical space as much as I was. And if you go back into the videos, and I've gone back into the videos, this is fun. This is one of the great things about video journaling, or just journaling in general, even if it's just writing, is being able to go back into your journal to see these larger patterns. I've talked about that before as one of the purposes for journaling. And there it is. There it is. OBE after OBE after OBE. You know, I remember the electronic spiders that were crawling on the walls and on the ceiling in the etheric version of my physical space. I remember the reptilians entering. That's one I didn't actually do a video on. I may have mentioned it. You know, the warehouse, I'm trying to recall some of them, at least right now. I was taken into a warehouse of diseased individuals, and one of them in particular came face to face with me, and his entire face was diseased. I couldn't even tell if it was a male or female, but that's when this started appearing on my face shortly after. Parasite, yeah. Anyway, just wow, I'm mind blown over this. I'm thrilled. I'm finally receiving in full the communique and doing ground level what I need to do to keep boots on the ground. That is what, we're attempting to do. As you know, one of the reasons that it was so easy for me to get pulled out of body pretty steadily for a 4-year period of time is that, I never really did come fully down into the physical body, sort of lived 1 foot in, 1 foot out most of my life. And with my two sides, one would step forward while the other stepped back, and then they would trade off, generally for 4 years. One would have the 4, and then the other would have the 4. But I'm getting it now. I'm doing the cleansing. I'm realizing what the collective shift is physically. It's happening here. One body at a time, one body system cell at a time. The collective shift physically to us perhaps looks like all of those in our visual field who appear as other people and other genres of being, the animal kingdom, insect kingdom, bird kingdom, etc., but is in reality. Every cell in the physical body is your collective shift in physical space. Every cell that composes the human body is a consciousness. If we entered one of those cells, and if you remember, in my OBEs, I did often enter the independent cells of my body. There is a movie playing, just like right now, there is a movie playing around us. We are a cell in the collective body of the Creator, of beingness itself, of the universe, however you wish to see this. And as above, so below. In physical space, the universe is our universe. And the collective shift is the collective shift of the consciousness cells that compose the physical body. The body is not just a body. It is not just an appearance. Everything with an appearance is an indicator. Trying to think of the right word. What it indicates, what it is an appearance of, is a consciousness which resides in it. We are masters. We are masters learning how to live in a physical body. And a part of learning to live in a physical body is, of course, coming all the way into the physical body, which I have now done. In coming all the way into the physical body, we learn to care properly for the physical system. And this is where the cleanses of the systems of this body, of the inner organs of this body, and this body as a whole comes into play. It's all linked. It all goes hand in glove. Way back in the beginning when I was still doing the Ascension journal, one of the very first videos I put out, I can't think of what it was called now. I'll link it down below. But it was one where, even though I had no idea what I was saying, I knew what to say. I got the gist. My consciousness does come from, is an element of a league of beings who participate, created and participate in a program that believes in the ascension of the body, not just the conscious of the individual in the body, but every consciousness cell comprising the body. And this, to me, is the collective shift. When it starts happening here, it starts happening here. Just let that blow your mind and start caring for your ship. I'm going to link you to the healthcare playlist. So if you're interested, you can dive in. I'll be diving in much deeper, as always. It'll be interesting to see what happens as I bring myself into more of an alignment with my own harmony, my own harmonic resonance and health. I'm still able to go out of body, not to the degree that I was previously, because I had to get this first. I came very close to losing these boots on this ground. But I didn't. Thank goodness. There's more to do. A part of how this is continuing for me and why this is continuing to happen is the question in me. I've known from the beginning I'm a channel, and I keep wondering, why is the channeling not beginning? This is why the channeling, the trance channeling. I do mean this in a very particular way. The trance channeling. And I'm part of a group of beings also who are going to be bringing a new type of channeling to the planet, wherein there is not just the vocals coming through, but actually we are going to be able to shift the molecular makeup of the molecular system and visually bring through to you a bit more. So when I say channeling, this is the channeling I'm referencing. And I know what I have to do now to help this happen. We're about to really take off. This should get fun. Really, really, really fun.